Imagine if I could fix all your chord changing problems in this one video. How many more songs could you play? How much more would you be able to do on guitar if we could fix your chord changes? Well, that's what I'm going to try and do in this video, and we're going to do it with a concept called freeze in the air. Let's take a look. So let's say we want to work on the chord change between C major and D major. And we want to get this chord change sounding as good as possible. The best way to do this change, especially seeing as we have no finger that we can keep down between those chords, is play the C chord, make sure all your fingers are in the right position and they're sounding great, but then lift off from this C chord, freeze in the air by about 1 centimeter, and then move to the D chord, but freeze in the air before your fingers go down, and then press them down, and then strum our chord. We can also do the reverse, lift off, freeze in the air, go for the C major chord, freeze in the air again, and then go down. Now, total beginners, especially if you have only just learned a C chord or you're still getting used to chord changes, what always happens is placing fingers down 1, 2, 3. That especially happens on a C chord, but it can happen for any chord when we're first learning it, because that's how we learn it. But that's not how we practice it to get better, and that's not how we want to be practicing anything going forward on the guitar once you've actually learnt where to put your fingers. Placing down 1, 2 and 3 is a habit we need to get out of, and we need to learn to place the fingers down together, freeze in the air, and then go for the next chord, freeze in the air, and then down. And then eventually we can just change between chords pretty fast. Let's have a look at another example of this that might be more appropriate for intermediate players, but beginners, you can also do that with just the E major to A major, however you change in between them. That kind of freeze in the air beforehand. You can even do it with an anchor finger as well, just do it with the other fingers that aren't holding down. So E major, you can do it on any chord change at all. But another really common one is the G and the C chord. And this isn't just for beginners. This is actually an intermediate thing where sometimes we can't make this change quick enough for a song that we might be wanting to play at intermediate level. So there's our C chord again. And we rise off, freeze in the air by about 1 centimeter, go to the shape of a G chord, place the fingers down and play it. Freeze in the air, move to the C chord, and strum. Now I can do that without changing the back of my hand, for example. I can do that while kind of gripping like this, which is how I play most chords on guitar now. It's not fully over the top with the thumb, but I'm kind of gripping here. It's a bit of a lead guitar technique, actually. See if you can do that. See if you can keep these chord changes, the C and the G, with as similar a back of the hand as possible, a similar grip. Freeze in the air, go to the G, freeze in the air, go to the C, freeze in the air. And it's really important that we're freezing the air for the next chord. Get that one right, because that will make your chord changes better. And if you're thinking, well, I can play open chords all great, let's try this with 1 bar chord, but also 1 open chord. We're again focusing on that C major chord, so C major, rise in the air, but then we're going to go for an F minor. So one where we're requiring this bar chord to really be good and ring out, but then when we go to a C chord, we're going to go in the air and then go down to it. Freeze in the air over an F minor chord, and then down. And this is also a good assessment of where you're at, because you might be able to play far harder chords than F minor, but can you freeze in the air and make it sound great when you go down to it? That is the thing that I want to challenge you guys with in this video. Give that a go. Let me know how you get on in the comments below. And find more of my technique videos not available on YouTube at the top of the description, available exclusively at andyguitar.co.uk.